All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Monday, January 12th, 2026, episode 1044 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. Listen, if you are looking to stay up to date on the top current cyber news of the day while being entertained, educated, and dealing with massive amounts of good times and good people, well, then you come to the right place, because that's what we're doing every single weekday morning. Today is no different. We're off and running on a beautiful Monday morning. Let's go. All right. Yes. Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you wake up today feeling wonderful. If you're out in Australia, I hope you go to bed tonight feeling wonderful. Guys, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief brings you the hottest cybersecurity news, threat intelligence of the day. I have 20 plus years of experience. I like to go beyond the headlines and give additional insights, additional value, spell out all the acronyms, and make sure that you can be the absolute most awesome cybersecurity professional that I have any ability to influence or help. I have the hat on, not the PJs. We're still dealing with a puppy situation. He does get his staples out tomorrow, which will switch over into a less of a high maintenance mode. But yes, DJ B-Sec calling me out in mod chat. Guys, good morning. Hey, if today's your first episode, welcome to the party, pal. Drop a hashtag first timer in chat. We have a special sound effect. We have a special emote, and we just have a very special way of welcoming newcomers into the circle. And if today's your first episode, or you're coming over from Spotify and today's your first video episode, whatever it is, definitely would love to recognize you. Now, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief has two special elements to it. Number one is there's 8 stories, and I have no clue what they are. In fact, I actually just realizing I didn't even bring them up, so I'm gonna have to do that like live on stream as well. But I didn't research or prep for any of these. You know why? Because ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So let me just do this live in front of you right now. Also, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot. Make sure that screenshot includes the episode title right there on LinkedIn or YouTube, because it has episode 1044 in it. It has today's date, January 12th, 2026. It's all the evidence that you need in order to prove that you are here and get that CP. It just makes it easier for you. We do have a first timer. Tony from Chicago, hashtag first timer. Welcome to the party, Tony.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yes, sir. Christopher, ICEA says he was robbed of his first timer sound effect. Well, let's fix that, shall we?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal. All right. Yes, that is John McClain. I do plan on this week getting refreshing the emotes and the sound effects. We will have a drink sound effect and a drink emote, since that's turned into a bit of a running joke that we have here. What do we got here? We got CPEs, first timers, all the good things. Before we get into it, let me give you a quick shout out to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this show to you. Whether I'm grizzled with a big old beard, or I'm looking so fresh and so clean, coming to you from the dungeon, ATL. If you know what I'm talking about, drink. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out Aquaman or ATLians. You'll thank me for it. Guys, listen really quickly. simplycyber.io/area. You're going to want to check this out. I'm pinning the chat right now. Oh, you know what? Hey, it's Monday. We're kicking it. Can I do this? How do I do this? Oh, I wanted to give some gifted subs. Oh, there we go. Yes, sir. There we go. There we go. Gifted subs. You get a gifted sub. You get a gifted sub. Why not? Cyber Rob, J Brock 8377, Temmie, Cyberfit Nick. Yes, sir. Samson George, welcome to the party, pal. Emmanuel knows what's up with Outcast. All right, guys, check it out. We're dealing with a real problem in today's day and age. Basically, AI sprawl, right? Jesus, DJ BSEC, member 41 months. Thanks, DJ BSEC, as always. Your leadership team, guys, you're probably hearing this all over the place at work. Your leadership team is demanding AI automation. You can't go to a cyber conference without AI slapping you in the face. Everybody's using it. Your employees are using it, and not just tools that are known or approved. You got shadow AI sprawling across your organization, vulnerabilities, compliance risk, your data governance out the window. Your sales team using one AI tool, marketing using another. You have no clue. You're one security incident or audit failure away from costing you everything. Thanks very much, Sean Sailors, 14 months, love it. Dude, you could be dealing with IP theft, regulatory fines, competitive positioning issues. It's gonna, dude, at the end of the day, all this AI sprawl, people are moving like recklessly fast, and it's gonna fall on us if there's a problem. But Area's got you covered. What if AI could become an advantage instead of a risk? What if your teams could innovate while being secure? Well, that's what Area does. It's a unified platform that combines AI security, governance, and orchestration. So you don't have to choose between innovation and protection. You can have both. Get your cake and then eat it. Take control today. Turn your AI stress into AI success. Embrace enterprise AI correctly. Visit Area at simplycyber.io/AIRIA. simplycyber.io/AIRIA. As always, guys, it helps the channel out if you go check it. I think it's a cool product, a lot of WYSIWYG type stuff. We also got Flare Academy here. Dude, Flare Academy bringing all sorts of wonderful speakers to bear on the community. I'm going to go to simplycyber.io/Flare. Check this out. January 29th, Syndicate, Inside the Life of a Ransomware Operator. Guys, you can't get this type of insight any other way unless you want to spend months on a sock puppet and then infiltrate a dark web underground marketplace. Not for me. I'd rather just attend this 2-hour webinar. And I've already registered for it. I'm doing like a watch party. So go to simplycyber.io/Flare, register. It costs nothing. And you can come hang out. I'm going to learn quite a bit. I know I am. And would love to be kicking it with you in the chat as well. Let me know if you're going to be there. Let me know if you're going to be in there. Simplycyber.io/Flare. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet with the gifted subs. Thanks, James McQuiggan. I am excited. I am trying to figure out where the watch party is. I know TJ is going to be part of the watch party. It's either going to be in Flare's Discord server or our Discord server or in the YouTubes. I haven't got all the details yet, but we will get that sorted out. All right, quick note from ThreatLocker. I'll be at Zero Trust World in March if anyone's going to that. Pretty good conference. Let's go to ThreatLocker, and then I'm going to melt your face with news hot takes. Fashy! I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Hero support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, everybody, do me a favor. Yeah, Patriots, if you're a Patriots fan, last night was a good one. Last night was a good one. I don't know if we got Super Bowl on the horizon, but certainly a lot a lot better than the past 5 years. I can't stand Mac Jones, okay? Just so we're all on the same page. All right, do me a favor, everyone. Sit back, relax, And let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over all of us in an awesome wave. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll. Let's cook, huh?
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, January the 12th, 2026. I'm Steve Prentice. BreachForums hacking forum database leaked. The latest iteration of the notorious BreachForums hacking forum has suffered a data leak that has exposed more than 300,000 user accounts and has revealed internal details such as display names, registration dates, and IP addresses. Although most of the leaked IPs map to local loopback addresses, roughly 70,000 records include public IPs, posing security risks for its users and of potential value to law enforcement or researchers. The breached archive also included a PGP private key used by BreachForums administrators, though it remains passphrase protected. BreachForums' current admin claims the leak stems from an old backup exposed briefly during a 2025 restoration and is not a fresh breach. A website named after the Shiny Hunters gang released an archive named breachedforum.7z, but a Shiny Hunters representative denied any affiliation. Instagram.
All right. So BreachForums, well-known dark web marketplace or dark web data sharing site, right? It's well known. It's the one that the FBI or several law enforcement agencies took down maybe in the summer of 2025. You remember when they did it, I had suggested that some of the law enforcement people were younger, like 25 years old or so, because the avatars for the two admins for BreachForums had been added to the splash page that Department of Justice puts on saying that this site has been seized, and it had their avatars behind bars. So someone had to like custom make graphics for this splash page. It's not just, your standard issue. This site's been seized. So that was that. Now, there's two things I want to tell you. Number one, for any dark web marketplace, I don't care if it's, Alpha Bay and they're selling drugs, or whatever. I don't care if it's a breach forum where they're selling, hack data, info steal data. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Any dark web marketplace that generates money, if it is taken down by law enforcement because they are committing crime, another one will crop up almost immediately. All right. So that, or there's one that already exists that will now become the bee's knees. Just think about it. Okay. People want this. There is a market demand. I mean, it's criminal, but it's still, there's a market demand for it. So when one goes down, there's still a market demand and people just move on to the next. The easiest parallel to this is imagine that, when you drive to work or you drive to drop your kids off at school or whatever, you probably almost always go to the same gas station because you like that gas station or it's convenient for where you are near your neighborhood or whatever, right? You typically, I'm not saying you're exclusive to that gas station, right? You're not boyfriend, girlfriend in 10th grade with this gas station, right? You're allowed to go to other gas stations, but for the most part, you probably go to the same one. Now, imagine that gas station goes out of business. You won't even think twice to just start going to a new gas station and that be like your new regular. It's the same thing with these dark web marketplaces. The consumers at these dark web marketplaces don't give a damn. They're not loyal to the brand of BreachForums. They're loyal to getting access to the data or drugs or whatever illicit material it is that they want. And as soon as the first one doesn't work, they just move on to the next one. So because of that, there's going to be always, another one that pops up. Now, the second thing I want to point out is just because these are illegal underground web marketplaces doesn't mean that it's not a website. It doesn't mean it doesn't have IT infrastructure, and it doesn't mean it can't get hacked. Okay. So just think about it for a second. On its surface, BreachForums is a forum, right? Like think of, whatever, like 1998 called, and its forums, or it wants its forums back. Just a website, maybe a back-end database, model view controller design paradigm, right? So if it doesn't if they don't patch it, you gotta patch it. If they, don't have great governance around controlling it, if they have misconfigurations, all those things, they're going to get hacked. And that's basically what happened here. Now, they did say it was an older breach that came out, so whatever. But just know, BreachForums gets breached. LOL. Just know, listen, doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter the intent of your IT infrastructure. You have to secure it. Criminals need cybersecurity too. I'm sorry. Hey, BreachForums, go check out CISA 18 Implementation Guidance 1. Get you started, right? We'll build you a nice little framework, build you up brick by brick.
A breach exposes user data and creates password reset panic. Researchers at Malwarebytes Labs set the online world on edge this past weekend with news of a data breach at Instagram. They warned that usernames, physical addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses of 17.5 million users had been leaked. This prompted a flurry of password reset emails. The researchers had found the database for sale on a cybercrime forum, and although the stolen data wasn't exclusive to Instagram and contained data from external databases such as marketing lists and other leaked customer records, this together allowed online identities to be linked to physical addresses, thus magnifying the personal danger. Experts recommend that Instagram users update their passwords and add 2FA to their accounts, but to do so directly, of course, and not by clicking through a warning email, which itself might be spam. As of this recording, Instagram parent company Meta has yet to make a statement.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to understand this. And mods, are the phishing are these password reset emails coming from Instagram because their account was compromised, or is this the threat actor? Is this the threat actor sending a phishing email? All right. 17 million records. All right. All right, so if you have Instagram, which many people do, don't click on reset emails. I guess they are phishing emails. Hold on, I'm actually going to text my wife. My wife is like a pretty heavy Instagram user. I'm just going to, this is one of those ones where, you got to protect. FYI, massive uptick in Instagram password reset phishing emails. Don't click. Okay, I just sent my wife a text message. Awareness training in real time. Listen, anybody that's using Instagram, got to be careful with that, especially if you're using it as part of your business. Ooh, man, last thing you want is having a threat actor get your business one. Okay, so DJ Bisek is saying you can actually go on Instagram and see if you were actually sent an email to reset your password on your account or not. Here's the deal. This is kind of fun. I mean, not fun, but like kind of interesting. They're saying that the emails or the user accounts on Instagram were not compromised. They're saying that basically threat actors kind of either scraped the user accounts, or they were able to tie an email address to a user account and then crosswalking it with database breach, repositories kind of map together your account. So again, if you're reusing passwords, this is why you don't reuse passwords, because, what's the big deal? Who cares if my LinkedIn password's the same as my Instagram password? I have one password for my social media. What's the big deal, Jerry? Well, the big deal is all your accounts are going to get friggin' compromised, because it just takes one of those sites to have a data breach, and now your password's out there. Use a password vault, please. All right. Also, if you're not using multi-factor authentication, use multi-factor authentication, please, please, please. Yeah, but Instagram's a big one. A lot of people use Instagram, obviously. So if you wanted to be the hero at work, you may want to send out this, hey, just real quick for everybody, because this is one of those ones where, okay, let me take a hot minute and talk about end user awareness training. If you are only educating your workforce about work-related things, it's going to be a little tone deaf. One of the best ways that you can modify someone's behavior to be more secure and take less risky actions is to personalize things and help them out as an individual. This is a perfect example. Tons of people, at least 17 million, use Instagram. So what I would recommend is fire out an email. Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome back to work after the weekend. Quick note, everyone. If you get a password reset email from Instagram, it could be a phish. Threat actor, there's a massive uptick in Instagram phishing right now. Make sure you have multi-factor authentication enabled on your Instagram account, and you may want to consider changing your password. Thank you. See you at the company picnic. A lot of people in chat right now sharing their personal experiences with Instagram, right? Abimbola saying they got several messages to reset their account. Yep, James McQuiggan, 100%. James McQuiggan saying, don't treat end user awareness training like Santa Claus or Easter Bunny once a year. Yeah, you got to, dude, you have to make it. There's so much benefit to doing awareness training frequently and very, very, bite-sized awareness training. Also, very important, if you're sending out regular messages, hey, what's up? It's Jerry. Instagram, watch out. Hey, what's up? It's Jerry. Password vaults, what's up? Hey, what's up? It's Jerry. Patch your stuff. Guess what? When someone clicks on something and does something dumb, they know Jerry is the person that they should call. They got a guy or, a girl or a lady or whatever. Be the face of InfoSec for your business. And that way people will call you. I'm telling you, I do it in every position I've ever had. And I regularly get phone calls from people who I've never even spoken to. Hey, what's up? This is Tony. Okay, Tony, what's up? Yeah, hey, I think I clicked on something weird because this happened. I don't know. I don't know, but I thought I'd tell you. Yeah, let's look into it. First line of defense, man. I will tell you, though, it's a double-edged sword because then you'll get calls for like personal things. Like I've had people call and say, hey, what's up? This isn't work related, but like, my aunt is definitely dating a romance scam person, and there's no amount of us telling her that it's a fake that is convincing her, and she's giving all her money to this person. What do you think we should do? So you'll get situations like that. But if you like helping people, it's right up your alley.
UK government exempts self from flagship cyber law. The UK's new Cybersecurity and Resilience Bill aims to update outdated cyber regulations and boost protections for critical infrastructure. However, it excludes central and local government bodies from its legal requirements, drawing criticism even as public sector cyber attacks rise. Opponents in Parliament argue that excluding government weakens accountability and creates a double standard, while ministers say government departments will meet equivalent standards via a separate government cyber action plan. Critics remain unconvinced without binding legal duties. Some suggest future or separate legislation could address public sector security, but there is, at the moment, skepticism about the government's commitment.
Awesome.
Microsoft.
Hey, really quickly, hold on. Let me share this with my wife. I'm sorry. This is big breaking news. Yay. I got breaking news right now. Cool. All right. Hey, let me just share this with you live. This is breaking news. I just texted it to my wife, so we're good there. The vet called. We had the lesion sent to a pathologist. It's a benign lesion, no cancer. Puppy's gonna be good. Woo! All right, Ripley, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, so what's this all about? The government is saying, do what I say, not what I do. All right. This seems to be very like trendy in 2026, where the government's doing what it wants. Okay. Current shadow deputy PM. Oh, what? So, Roswell, UK, are you in chat right now, bro? Like, the UK has a role called shadow deputy PM. Is that is Palpatine in that role right now? Do it. Hold on. Like seriously. Here's a live look in at shadow deputy PM. Do it. All right, listen. Whatever, I guess. But the UK has been getting pretty serious about cybersecurity. They recently started that new like department. It's like a cybersecurity division. They were involved in Operation Kronos, which was like a massive takedown of several threat actors, including, I believe, Lockbit was involved in that. You guys remember when Lockbit was like literally tearing apart everybody? So they've been getting quite serious. Now, the United States government has FISMA regulations and provides NIST and NIST cybersecurity framework, which is a voluntary-based framework. What they're proposing is that managed service providers, which is like outsourced IT services, be pulled into these things. And people are criticizing it because they're like, "Oh, why are you coming up with all these all this government regulation, but then the government doesn't have to comply with it?" And they're saying, "Oh, no, we comply with other things." I don't know enough about the UK and how that they handle cybersecurity at the federal level versus the private sector level. I don't know. Honestly, this seems so British to me. Like, with all due respect to the UK citizens, it just seems so British, where they're like being very, very polite, but at the same time not being nice. All right, so what do we do here? If you work in the UK or you have UK offices, there's any part of your business that falls within the United Kingdom, this legislation may impact you, and you may want to look into it. That's it, basically. Roswell UK is in chat right now. He's our, guy on the ground in the UK. National Audit Office recently reviewed 58 of the UK's 72 most critical government systems and found a litany of security flaws, with progress in fixing them described as staggering slow. And the NCSC, which is that new department in the UK around cybersecurity, reported that 40% of managed attacks already target public sector, a figure expected to rise as government services become increasingly digital. Yeah, sure. You know what? He says staggering slow. Let me tell you that I've worked in the federal IT space a lot. Even the DoD, frankly, which is, got access to all the cool new tech. The federal government is gigantic, and I get Doge came in and gutted a whole bunch of stuff for the benefits of efficiency, but getting things changed, getting things fixed, getting things updated in the federal government is glacially slow. Decisions are made slowly. The innovation is like, it's the opposite of innovation in the federal government. So I would assume that the United Kingdom's federal government operates at the same kind of pace as the US federal government. So just be aware of that. Governments, they move slow.
May soon allow IT admins to uninstall Copilot. A new policy that allows IT administrators to uninstall Copilot on managed devices is now being tested. The new Remove Microsoft Copilot app policy started rolling out on Friday to systems in some development and beta insider channels. If furthered, the new policy will, quote, apply to devices where the Microsoft 365 Copilot and Microsoft Copilot are both installed, and that the Microsoft Copilot app was not installed by the user, end quote.
All right, so, obviously this is coming from somewhere. Microsoft wants you to have Copilot installed. Believe that, okay? So the fact that they're testing a way to allow you to remove it from managed endpoints, that's got to be coming from somewhere. Somewhere, someone is complaining loudly that they don't want Copilot all up in their business. All right, so you would need, let's see. It's only in the dev and beta insider channel, so you won't see this available in the main, oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? The main build until it gets tested and everything, because the last thing you want is this thing breaking something, but uses Intune or SCCM to uninstall it. I will tell you, like, dude, this TV back here, right? This TV, this LG TV, they conveniently installed Copilot on it the other day. I was like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't want Copilot on my television. Let's see. The new policy will apply to devices where Copilot are both installed and the Microsoft Copilot app was not installed by the user and it was not launched in the last 28 days. So look at this. They are adding some caveats here. So it's not just a blanket uninstall Copilot, period. It has to be not installed by a human and it has to have not been used in the last 28 days. So if you if Carl clicked on it out of curiosity or whatever, guess what? It's not going to get uninstalled. I do wonder if this is like an ongoing thing. So if you went 28 days without using it, it would make it removed. If you do want to enable this in your environment, go to Group Policy Editor and User Config, Admin Templates, Windows AI, remove Microsoft Copilot app, okay? Oof. It does fix an issue where File Explorer was crashing. Gross. All right. Here's my thing. Real quick, okay? You can be here. This is something that I guess I feel like when you get old, you think about, okay? So check it out. Just because you can uninstall Copilot does not mean you should stop the stream and just go and be like, uninstall, uninstall, uninstall. No, like, think through it. Does it make sense to uninstall it? Does it align with whatever your company's policies are? Are there issues with having it? Are there issues with not having it? Is someone using it? Have you deliberately given it a shot and tried it, or is it just YOLO? AI sprawl is a very real thing right now. We have people using AI tools all over the place. Some people are using tools that they don't even know are AI tools. Copilot's just another one. Microsoft is ham-fisting Copilot into everybody's face. So, yes, you can uninstall it, but I would just say do it with intent, right? I'm not saying Copilot's good or bad. I don't use Copilot. I don't have a dog in the fight. But with this tool or any other tool, just because you have the ability to remove it now does not mean you should just go ham on it and remove it for the sake of removing it because you can. Also, remember, it's not going to remove it from everywhere because if people are using it, say you have a policy, we're not going to use Copilot here. No one's allowed to use Copilot. We're going to uninstall Copilot. We win. Just know, if anybody used Copilot in the last month, then you're not going to be able to remove it from their computer. So you're not going to get 100%. Okay.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, ThreatLogger. Want real zero trust training? Zero Trust World 2026 delivers hands-on labs and workshops that show CISOs exactly how to implement and maintain zero trust in real environments. Join us March 4th through 6th in Orlando, plus a live CISO series episode on March 6th. You can get $200 off with the code ZTWCISO26 at ZTW.com.
To that point, I will be at Zero Trust World, everybody. That conference they're just talking about. Great conference. We'll be doing the show, the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, live from the conference floor. So if you want to see the show in real life, in person, come on down. It's a cool conference. Plus, the food is amazing on top of it. All right, so check this out. All right, holla, 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 holla. Hey, guys, I want to say thank you. We are at the mid-roll. Thank you to the stream sponsors, ThreatLocker, who you just heard from, Flare. We're doing the watch party on the 29th together. I hope you can join. Area, big fan of Area, helping with that AI sprawl. And also, wait for it, Anti-Siphon Training. Look at this beautiful man, John Strand himself. John Strand is offering the Active Defense and Cyber Deception course next week, Monday, January 19th through the 23rd. 4 days, 4 hours a day, 16-hour course. I've taken this class personally. I loved this class so much that I made a YouTube video for 15-minute video deep diving what the class is, why it's awesome. You can take this class for $0. They do ask for a minimum of $25, but there's a way to pay $0 if you are financially strapped and still want to train. If you are currently in between jobs, this is a great opportunity. This class is very fun. You get hands-on labs. John also covers a lot of ethics of hacking back, of is it ethical for you to stick basically a landmine in your environment and a threat actor trip over and blow up? Is it okay? Is it okay to have a threat actor download malware from your environment and infect themselves? Is it okay for you to have them beacon where they are and then you go attack them? John answers those questions as well as showing you what's up. So go to antisyphontraining.com and check this out. Active Defense and Cyber Deception with John Strand. Very cool course. Definitely appreciate it. He only teaches it a few times a year. So don't be the guy who's like, too late, because that'll be your cry when the man with the Active Defense and Cyber Deception course passes you by. Every single day of the week has a special segment. I hate when I click on something and it closes the tab. Every single day of the week has what is this? Every single day of the week has a special segment. And Mondays is Simply Cyber's Community Member of the Week, sponsored by ThreatLocker. Yes, ThreatLocker sponsors this particular segment, meaning that the Community Member of the Week that I recognize, not only do we get to celebrate, but also because ThreatLocker takes a deny by default approach to application security, it takes a village approach to community. And because of that, I get to give this person a $100 Amazon gift card or Simply Cyber merch, which, by the way, really quickly, if you don't know, this Adidas hoodie is awesome. Where's my Adidas hoodie? They don't make these anymore. So if you own one of these right now, I know Jesse Johnson owns one. I know a couple people own one. They don't make these anymore. So exclusive, I guess. But let me introduce you to this week's Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. You guys know him. He's in chat, thankfully. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been the member before, but I want to recognize him. DJ Bisek, Ben Sherrill, Houston's own Ghetto Boys, DJ Bisek. Now, DJ Bisek, if you didn't know, he covered the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief in December during the week of Christmas while I was out, and I genuinely appreciate it. I was willing to just cancel the show for 2 weeks, and Bisek was like, dude, come on, man. I've been out. I've been super busy. I've been traveling. I missed the show. Let me do the show. And I said, all right, bro. And he did it. And I didn't check in, but people told me he crushed it. So, thank you, DJ Bisek, for all you do. I appreciate it. I will get with you and get you your prize, whether it's merch or an Amazon gift card. You are an amazing person. All right, guys, let's keep cooking, shall we?
NSA Cyber Directorate gets new leadership. The National Security Agency has a new leadership roster. David Imbordino, an NSA senior executive who is currently serving as the Directorate's deputy chief, will work in an acting capacity as head of the Cybersecurity Directorate within the NSA. Second in command within that directorate will be Holly Barudi, a senior official at the agency currently based in the United Kingdom. Tim Kosiba has been officially appointed as the Deputy Director of the NSA, the agency's second in command, and is expected to start that role in the coming days. The Director of the NSA, its overall leader, remains William J. Hartman, also in an acting capacity.
All right. I mean, okay. Like, I don't know anything about either of these people, but it is great to see that the NSA Cyber Directorate is getting leadership. Guys, you can't, these organizations do need, guidance and leadership. There needs to be someone at the helm, right? I mean, you can have a boat out at sea with nobody sitting in the pilot's chair and the boat will float, right? But if you put someone in the captain's chair, now you've got direction, you've got control, you've got leadership. That's what's up. This guy, David Imbordino, is already the directorate's deputy chief, and he's basically getting promoted. Chances are this dude was already doing the job. I mean, guys, tell me if this vibes with you. You ever already been doing the job for like a year and then they finally promote you, but all promoting is like actually recognizing that you've been doing the job already? There you go. Also, shout out to this lady right here. What's her name? Holly? Is it Holly? Holly Barudi, who's going to be the number 2, the NSA Cyber Directorate's number 2. Apparently, this is the NSA is not confirming or denying that either of these things are true, but obviously it's being reported. Quick shout out. Let's go. It's nice to see people are getting the jobs based on their competency, right? Shout out to professionals. This doesn't, listen, NSA Directorate, you could replace both of these people with 2 other people, and it makes no difference to me as a cyber professional helping protect businesses, okay? Like, this is interesting and forgettable at the same time. Okay, like, I hate to say it, like, I'm sure both of these people have put in decades of experience and, sacrifices to get where they've gotten in their career, and I celebrate them. But for me, this like, I literally, later today, you could ask me either of their names and I wouldn't be able to tell you. And in a week, I would probably forget this story even happened. So it's great, but in the scheme of like practitioner and what to do and is this valuable, this is just a footnote as far as I'm concerned.
CISA sunsets 10 directives due to evolution of exploited vulnerabilities catalog.
Yeah.
10 emergency directives that had been issued by the agency have been retired after officials determined, quote, they were redundant, thanks in part to the widely used known exploited vulnerabilities catalog, end quote. The 10 directives were issued between 2019 and 2024, and the agency credits CISA's commitment to operational collaboration across the federal enterprise for their removal. 6 of these are related to Microsoft, with the others related to VMware, F5, and Cisco. A list of the Microsoft vulnerabilities is available in the show notes to this episode.
All right.
North Korea.
So, okay, 2 things here. Number 1, CISA's known exploited vulnerability catalog has value, okay? If you didn't know about it, the KEV, or Known Exploited Vulnerability Catalog by CISA, which is the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Remember, I'm trying to, in 2026, I'm trying to spell out all the acronyms because I heard a lot of people but a lot of people not in our industry highlighted that acronym. It's like they get overwhelmed and confused by all the acronyms. So CISA issues these emergency directives, like basically like, hey, breaking news, get your crap fixed. Hey, breaking news, VMware is being exploited. Hey, breaking news, Progress is MoveIt software is being exploited. Fix it, right? I don't know. Is anyone hearing static in my microphone? I don't know. We'll have to look into it. And now they're retiring them. Here's my thing. Guys. In cybersecurity, things move incredibly fast. Okay, like so fast that when you have a compromise or something in your environment, chances are you just fix the problem, like reimage the user's machine or verify, like change their password, whatever, and then you keep on going. No one is doing deep dive reverse engineering of malware on an asset that they found in their environment unless you like work for Recorded Future or something like that. Sorry about the static, everybody. Wait, here, I'll just take the microphone further away from my face. How's that? I don't know. I didn't touch anything. All right, I'll just speak like this, okay? We'll get it sorted. So when they are retiring emergency directives, these directives are from 2020 and 2021. Guys, in all reality, I am not thinking about emergency directives from 2020. I'm not thinking about emergency directives from 2024. You get your things sorted out and you keep on moving. That is how it really works in real life. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Here's my thing, okay? There's so many vulnerabilities that haven't even been classified or qualified. It was like a big deal. Remember when Doge was cutting things and like the NIST CVD was going to lose funding and people were like, oh, and it was like going to be publicly sourced, and then Europe was going to manage the vulnerability catalog, and then all of a sudden the 11th hour money came from somewhere. Like, we have those problems, yet someone somewhere had the bandwidth to go through 5-year-old emergency directives to determine if they should be retired or not. I don't know. Again, not my dog, not my fight, but as someone who has had to deal with making $1 out of 15 cents and stitching a pork chop to a chicken wing in order to make an entire meal work for somebody, I am not spending my time or directing anyone in my, under my management to go look at these things and retire them. There's bigger fish to fry. There's bigger problems to look at. Again, maybe you want to disagree with me. I don't know. But like, here's my thing. No one gets into a job. Right? And they're like, oh man, hey, I'm super excited to be here. First thing I'm going to do, let's look at these 5-year-old emergency directives and see if these apply to our environment. Yeah, no one's doing that. So to me, I don't know, man. It just seems like a waste of energy. All right.
Quishing attacks on the rise.
No.
A warning from the FBI about the North Korea-linked APT group Kimsuki continuing to target governments, think tanks, and academic institutions with quishing attacks, which is the use of spear phishing emails containing malicious QR codes, hence the term quishing. These QR images often arrive as email attachments or as embedded graphics, which evade URL inspection, MFA, and sandboxing. Their goal is to trick victims into visiting fake websites or downloading malware. Russian.
All right, I wasn't even listening to this. As soon as I see the word quishing, I'm out. I'm off. Okay. I think these guys are using wireless keyboards too. All right. Kimsuki is targeting governments, of course, with quishing attacks. A quishing is the QR code. Looks like this. Do I have a QR code? There we go. See the top left QR code? There we go. There we go. And we can do this one. We got QR codes all over the place, okay? You can't see what a QR code. All a QR code is basically a URL. And because you can't see the URL, you could accidentally scan it and fall for an attack. Now, Josh Mason is very passionate about how falling for a quish does not compromise your endpoint. It just sends you to a website. And he's passionate that like there is no instance of like you scan something and you're owned. All right, so a bunch of people are being sent emails with QR codes. Quishing, all right. So once they scan it, they're routed through attacker-controlled redirectors that collect device and identity attributes like user agent, OS, IP address, et cetera, and then they send you specially optimized credential harvesting pages impersonating Microsoft 365. So this is the deal. You scan something, it does a profile on the device that scanned it, and then it sends you to a phishing landing page where they're going to try to harvest your credentials. Multi-factor authentication is not bulletproof here, but obviously you should have Microsoft 365. You should have multi-factor authentication enabled to help when they get your password that it doesn't result in you being compromised or other being compromised. Here's the deal. Educate your end users. Tell them to not scan QR codes that they get in email. That's it. If you're not sure, don't scan it. Especially if you work at a government facility, a think tank. I don't know if there's a way, like, I don't know if there is a way for email security gateways to scan emails to see if there is a QR code in the email itself, like as an image, but chances are they're probably attachments that, you know, you open up and then there's the QR code. Just the nice thing is, QR codes have become very popular, especially at restaurants, to scan the menu. So, you know, your non-technical audience is going to know what a QR code is. Please don't use the word quishing with them. Just tell them, hey, don't scan a QR code that you get an email. You can see here, one specific example of how they're doing it is a fake conference invitation. So, hey, academic, hey, I read your paper on whatever. Hey, I read your dissertation on information security risk at small healthcare institutions in the state of South Carolina. We would love for you to present at our conference. Hey, Wild West Hackin' Fest Denver is around the corner, and we had a late cancellation. Would you like to come speak at the conference? Scan here. So they are using the carrot, not the stick, in order to lure victims into scanning it. Just make them aware. Yeah, you can see here the email contained a QR code that sent them to a registration landing page that had a button to register. When they click the registration button, it sends them to a fake Google login page where they give their creds up. So, I mean, it's basically straight up classic phishing attack. Here's a phishing email. Here's a landing page. I literally teach this to my students at the Citadel in week 3. You can use Dave Kennedy's or Trusted Sec's social engineering toolkit to execute this attack. This toolkit has been around forever. Right here. If you're listening on Spotify, I've brought up the social engineering toolkit GitHub page. You can see Dave Kennedy from Trusted Sec. Dave Kennedy is like an OG legend, really great guy too. But this tool is very full featured, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a social engineering toolkit, but you can use this to stand up a fake malicious infrastructure and do credential harvesting.
Credential stealing campaign targets energy and policy organizations. Russian state-sponsored threat actors from the APT-28 group have been linked to new credential harvesting attacks, this time targeting, quote, individuals associated with a Turkish energy and nuclear research agency, as well as staff affiliated with a European think tank and organizations in North Macedonia and Uzbekistan, end quote. APT-28 is associated with the main directorate of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation, also known as GRU. This attack, though localized, is of interest for everyone because of the fact that, quote, unsuspecting users are redirected to legitimate sites after the credentials are entered on the bogus landing pages, thereby avoiding any red flags, end quote.
Yeah, really quickly, Quishing InfoSec says SET is old, the social engineering toolkit I just talked about in the last story. This is true. It's been around for years and years and years. I do want to point out, I'm looking at the GitHub repo right now, and the last commit was 2 years ago. So I don't know if it's still, I don't think it's being maintained any longer, but it does work still. All right. So Russian APT-28 doing fake landing pages and stealing credentials. This is literally the same exact thing that we just saw in the North Korean story, except they're targeting energy and policy organizations. Okay. Whatever your bag is, whatever organization or individual you want to compromise, this is how they do it. You send them an email, you tell them, hey, you're going to lose access to whatever, or click here to get free money or free tickets to the Masters, or would you like to go to the Super Bowl? Drake May wants to talk to you online too, whatever it is. And they get you to click through and give up your credentials, and then they own you. It's as simple as that. Now, there are more advanced techniques, so you can't assume you know what a phishing landing page looks like. And in this one, after you put in the wrong credentials, they will redirect you to the correct page, so you're less likely to detect something wrong, right? Have you ever typed in a password incorrectly and the page just refreshes and you're like, oh, I must have typed it in wrong. Let me type it again. That's basically it, right? So you put in your username and password, you give it up to the Russians, then it redirects you to the correct page. You're like, oh, I must have typed in my password incorrectly. You type it incorrectly, and then you're logged into the system and you're off and running. No big deal. It's kind of like getting a Trojanized piece of malware where the calculator app still calculates and does math, but you're also running some type of info stealer or something. APT-28 is a nation-state-based threat actor in Russia. They've been around for quite a while. I think they're Fancy Bear. Let's take a look. I'm going to go to MITRE ATT&CK Framework. MITRE ATT&CK Framework. I'm going to click in here. I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to go to CTI Groups. And then I'm going to look up APT-28. You can see I'm right here. I've done it. And they are also known as Fancy Bear. Did I say Fancy Bear or Cozy Bear? I can't remember. They've been around for quite a while. Yeah, you can see they're the ones who are responsible for compromising the Democratic National Committee in 2016 and getting Hillary Clinton's emails. You remember the whole Hillary email thing? That was APT-28. Okay. So APT-28 is all about getting access to things, info stealing, credentials, that type of stuff. Cozy Bear and Sandworm, they're the ones who are responsible for executing cyber missions. Okay. So APT-28, this story is basically if anything, this story is just a reminder, okay, that APT-28's out there. It's 2026. The Hillary email, drama was 10 years ago. What do you want? Dude, Russia's very good at misinformation, disinformation, as well as stealing creds. And really quickly, just to not be xenophobic or something, the United States is also very good at cyber. And I guarantee you we're really good at stealing creds, because this is a standard practice in the cyber kill chain. You want to access something, get creds to it. How are you going to get creds? Trick someone into giving them to you. Period. Full stop. All right. Ooh, 9 a.m. on the dot. Someone call him Nick Barker. You guys remember Nick Barker? I haven't seen him in a minute. Holla! All right, guys. I do want to say thank you all so very much for being here. Shout out to DJ Bisek, our Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. I will get with him and get him his prize. I hope you had a great show today. I certainly did. Big fan. Good news coming in on the puppers. Across the wire is breaking news. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. If you got to get out of here, we'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Otherwise, stay tuned for Jawjacking. Also, I want to remind everybody, if you didn't know, I have produced videos dropping every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for the entire year of 2026. And we just dropped another banger. GRC job interviews. There's Jesse Johnson, Erica McDuffie. Guys, if you are interviewing for jobs, listen, nobody gets feedback from the interview. Hey, sorry, we went with a different candidate. I'm okay. How was my interview? Did you like my answers? Sorry, we can't give you any information. That's a bunch of bull crap. So if you want legit feedback on how to interview like an absolute legend, check this video series out I've done. People are loving it. And I'm super pumped too because I think it adds value. Watch here. I'm going to drop a link to it. Watch this. Doink. I'm going to pin this. All right. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next time, stay secure. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to answer all your questions. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. My name's Jerry Guy coming at your face. We are killing it today. This is Jawjacking, a 30-minute Ask Me Anything show. You ask me a question, I'll give you an answer. If I don't have the answer, I will try to get you the answer because I don't know everything. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We are going to be joined by 200 plus Simply Cyber community members in chat. You see, I got the chat over there. All about good times. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. Questions about cyber, questions about anything. I'm here. Zach Hill from IT Career Questions has a GRC video coming out soon. Zach, let me know when that's available. Let's look up Zach here. There he is, this beautiful baby. And I'm looking at Zach's videos. I do not see a GRC video yet, so we'll have to figure out what's going on with that. Let's do a quick shout out really quickly. If you guys didn't know, this is Zach Hill's IT Career Questions, 293,000 subs. A lot of people getting a lot of help from Zach's YouTube channel. I also want to remind everybody, while we're here, did you know you can go to luma.com/simplycyber. Luma, Luma, luma.com/simplycyber. Tomorrow at 1 p.m., me and Mike Miller are doing a 1-hour personal branding live stream, helping you turn your LinkedIn into an actual tool that can actually help you get hired, make network connections, all about good times. Go to luma.com/simplycyber and sign up. It's literally free. I hope you can make it at 1 p.m. tomorrow. All right, let's see what questions we got coming in here. What's the least stressful job in cybersecurity? Spam Musubi asking the question. Let me think about this really quickly. Least stressful job. Researcher. I think security researcher is probably the least stressful job.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Rob Cooper coming in. Simply Cyber. Jerry, I got hit by a really good phishing attack on Friday. The guy said he was from my bank's fraud department. Bank's fraud department. Very convincing. Interesting. Rob, how did you discover it was a fraud. Guys, be on the lookout. Thanks for the super chat too, by the way, Rob. Soulshine asks, how did you find Jason Rebels? My friend Gary Ruddle actually is friends with Jason and said, hey, you should talk to Jason. So I called Jason, and then we had a nice conversation. And then he's actually going to be my guest on Thursday for Simply Cyber Firesides. Yeah, he's a really cool guy, Jason Rebels. Pocket Pixie says, how can I get into Purple Team quickly? Get good at SOC work and pen testing work, and have a really good foundation on IT. Purple teaming is not something you, with all due respect, Pocket Pixie, purple teaming is not an entry-level thing. It's like, it's kind of like an evolution past blue. Anybody know if WGO does labs for skill building? I do not know, but when Casually Joseph gets up, he can answer that question. Anybody in chat, WGU, right? Owls, can answer this question from the Velvet Bandit. The Velvet Bandit. Please tag the Velvet Bandit. Next question. How do you feel about unsecured network of cameras watching your driveway for the Russians and Chinese, like a group of birds snitching on your country to its adversaries? What? How do you feel about unsecured network of cameras watching your driveway? This feels like a very specific question, Darth Looper. I'm not, maybe, I don't know, like, can you, I guess, provide some more context? I mean, I guess if I had a bunch of cameras on a telephone pole looking at my driveway and the Russians were watching it, I mean, I wouldn't feel great about it. Phil Stafford says Jason's a cool dude. Yeah, he's actually working on an AI startup we might be talking to him about. All right. Continuing to look at chat. If you have any questions, drop them in chat. Code Brew says he'd rather the cameras be on the driveway instead of the bedroom. 100% with you there, buddy. The flock cameras. I didn't know that the flock cameras were Russian and Chinese spy networks. A anonymous LinkedIn user wants to know how to integrate cyber resilience in the company to put KPIs in place to see evolution. Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to put together not a formal, but like you want to have a cybersecurity framework, right? So something that is very easy to communicate, something that you can have a project plan or a program plan to execute against. And that's where you can start seeing improvements in trend data, right? How many controls do we have implemented? How many systems do we have patched? How much visibility do we have? How many domain admins accounts do we have? Like, how long does it take us to detect a compromise? How long does it take us to patch a vulnerable system? What's our internet-facing attack surface look like? If you're just playing whack-a-mole, that's not good. You have to have a cybersecurity framework, even if it's something basic like CISA 18, something basic, because it allows you to measure today, and then you can measure with the same measuring stick tomorrow, the next day, and that will show you apples to apples comparison. Rob Cooper says he asked for a one-time password that was going to be used to authenticate a pay later application instead of canceling it. Okay, there you go. Jerry, how long was the puppy sick? Thanks for asking, Space Tacos. So it's really interesting. So for those who don't know, I have two dogs. They're brothers. And I took one of the dogs in to get their medicine updated, or whatever you want to call it. And the other one had like a weird growth on him that I was like, oh, while I'm here, can you just look at this? And they're like, oh, geez, we got to get that off immediately. So they surgically removed it. Not instantly. Like, we had to schedule the surgery. It was like 2 days later. And they removed it, but it was a massive incision that had to get like stitched and then stapled and all this other stuff. And that was Friday. So like 10 days ago, Space Tacos. So he gets the staples out tomorrow. So we've been really, we've been right on top of him because they don't want him to lick where his wound is, obviously, because of infection and whatnot. So we've been like, Mrs. and I have been like taking turns sleeping on the couch so we can be with him and make sure he's not doing these things. Sierra Montgomery's asking for a dog update. We got a text message from the vet. The growth that they removed from him is confirmed benign. Woo! W. All right. Thanks for asking, everybody. We love our dogs. We're a big dog family. All right. Kasula says, I was asked by my VP to talk about malicious injection versus ransomware. What? What would have been your quick response to this? Well, my response would be like, what do you mean versus? Malicious injection versus ransomware. Malicious injection is like an attack technique. Ransomware is like a malware variant. So I guess, hey, Jerry, talk about malicious injection versus ransomware. I'd say, okay, like, they're kind of not, I guess the first thing I would say is, yeah, as far as ransomware goes, it's definitely the number one threat that we should be mindful of. Depending on what industry you're in, you could quickly reference well-known victim organizations. So say you're working in healthcare, you could say, yeah, that Change Healthcare was a massive problem in 2024, early 25. We definitely don't want that. Here are the things that we can do to reduce our risk of ransomware. Now, as far as malicious injection goes, now we're talking more. I mean, are you talking about AI prompt injection? Or are you talking about cross-site scripting? Do we have web apps? Are you a tech company developing software? So I don't know what they're the VP of, but I don't think that they're the VP of information security, because that question seems, I don't know, man. That question seems like someone who knows some buzzwords and threw them at you, not someone who understands what they mean. All right. Dog update. No, I already did that. Thank you, Sierra. Question from Net Setup. If Palo altogether puts a site in a DNS sinkhole for a threat, what would be the SOP to find out the risks and get a good evaluation? What would be the standard procedure to find out the risks and get a good eval? I mean, I don't know if there's necessarily a standard procedure. So I guess Net Setup, are you saying that you're running Palo as your firewall and they've determined a website is malicious, so you can no longer access it through your Palo firewall, and you want to analyze it for the risks? Again, this is one of those ones where, like, you can do this. Okay, all you have to do is get on a network that doesn't go through your Palo, and then it won't be sinkholed anymore. Now, it's a malicious website confirmed by Palo, so I don't know if you want to go poking around in it. But if it were me, what I like to do, the ultimate prophylactic, I would go into Amazon AWS, I'd spin up a machine, then I would use that machine to go access this site and do whatever it is I want to do. I do have, in AWS, I do have, like, it's not a full flare VM, but it's, got some tools on it. For me personally, because then I can just burn that machine down. The machine isn't connected to my home network in any way. But I said this earlier during the daily cyber threat brief. In the reality of, at least in my professional experience, if I'm paying for a Palo firewall and they sinkhole a website because it's deemed malicious, good. Thank you for protecting me without me having to spend time, energy, and effort on it. That's why I'm paying you, Palo Alto. I'm going to go on and take care of the next fire that I have to take care of. I'm not going to go poke around a website that you've already determined is malicious for whatever reason. So that's what I would say, Net Setup. That's how you go do it. And then in practice, you're not going to, like, at least for me, in practice, I'm not going to go spend time doing it. The only reason I would ever go look at this website as if one of my users fell for it before the sinkhole got implemented. And by the way, if you're wondering what DNS sinkhole is, because that's just a term that you've never heard before, when you go, like, DNS is domain naming service, right? It basically allows you to type in simplycyber.io and it translates the domain name, the thing that you and I talk about out loud, to an IP address, because every web server on the internet has an IP address. This is how basic computers work. It's how the internet works, okay? So DNS sinkholing is saying, let's say simplycyber.io is actually a malicious website, right? So when you go to simplycyber.io, instead of the IP address for the website resolving and delivering your web browser experience to that malicious website, the sinkhole says, whoa, no. We're going to direct you to a different website. That way, or just not even render a website, period. A better user experience is to send you somewhere else and say no. A common way that many of you have probably seen this is if you're on some network like school network or wherever, and you try to go to a website that's not okay, or company network, you try to go to like a porn site for whatever reason, or some type of like illegal download site or something, right? And you get a splash page that says your IT administration or your web server or whatever, like your company policy says you cannot go to this website. You get that nice standard splash page that says you can't go here. That's essentially like DNS sinkholing. What do you do on your first day of a new job as a cyber manager? Well, I got two things for you. Number one, good question. It's such a good question that I made a video for it. What are we doing here? Can we go to youtube.com, please? Why is my internet slow? Okay, well, for whatever reason, the internet is slow right now, which is super annoying. So you can go to Simply Cyber's YouTube channel. There is a video called Crush Your First 90 Days at Work, and it answers this question. But Alpha, since you asked the question, I'm going to just answer it anyways. The very first week, what I like to do is two things. These are your two number one things you should do. Number one, what's up, Mike Vito? Number one, go to your boss and ask them what their top 3 priorities that you want them to tackle is, right? You're not going to solve it today, but ask your boss the top 3 things. What are their most pressing things that they want you to work on, right? You got hired because there was a need at your work, right? Your boss, you're there to help your boss, right? So your boss is going to know where their biggest pain points are. Look like a champion to your boss by figuring out what's important to them and then starting figuring out a solution to it. So when you meet with your boss next week or whatever frequency you meet with your boss, you already have a few ideas on how to solve their biggest problems. That's going to go a long, long way. Number 2, I strongly encourage you set up 15-minute meet and greet meetings with everybody that reports to you, manager, one-on-ones. All right? One-on-ones, meet and greet, 15-minute meetings. Hey, what's up? I'm the new cyber manager. Just wanted to introduce myself. Who are you? What do you do? What are you into? Right? Do that with everybody that reports to you. Number 1. Number 2, depending on the size of your organization, meet with key people that you will be dealing with. People that work in IT, people that work on firewalls, people that work on endpoints, people that work in legal, people that work in finance, people that work in research and development. Set up those meetings, right? Introduce yourself. Hey, what's up? I just wanted to introduce myself. I just got hired. I'm the cyber manager. I'm over this, and this. Just wanted to introduce myself and get to understand how you work here. So you start developing relationships, because when crap hits the fan and you need to pick up the phone, that is not the first time you want to be speaking to this person. You want to be speaking to them beforehand, so you start establishing a relationship and they know who you are. And you're not just like the big bad calling, okay? Or if they discover something bad, they will know who to call because they've already established a relationship with you. All right. Does anyone know how to stop or mitigate threat actors from spoofing your org's phone number? Nope. There is no way to do that. Phone number spoofing is not illegal, and there's plenty of reasons why. Think about, a doctor calls you for a checkup. Hey, I know you just had surgery. I'm calling just to see how you're doing. The doctor does not want to have their personal cell phone number show up on all their patients, right? Because then their phone's going to blow up at like 2 a.m. So having it show up as like the main front desk at the hospital is a good reason, right? So these are reasons why spoofing, unfortunately, threat actors know this. All right. Space Taco saying her best friend just lost her puppy. Yeah, we've had to put our dog down in the past. It's horrible. It is absolutely horrible. Roswell UK says, "What's a DNS sinkhole?" I did explain that already, so I'll assume that question was answered. Luke Canfield said, "What happened to my beautiful face?" I think he's talking about how I shaved. Hey, listen, when I never shave my face smooth. I do have like stubble here. And also, I do it myself. I don't know if you guys can see, but do you see how I accidentally like snipped? You see how it's at like an angle? This side, not so much. I will tell you, when I was younger, that would have been, scary. The older you get, the less F's you give about like things. I was like, obviously I don't want to look like an idiot, but like, it's fine. All right, continuing to look through chat. If you are getting value, hit the like button for sure. Hit the, guys, I will tell you, hit the subscribe button. It does go a long way, obviously. I also want to remind everybody, I sent a note out on the Discord server, but if you are on the Discord server, many Discord servers will ping everyone every time they release a video. I don't do that. There is an SC notify role that you can opt into to be notified when new videos drop. And we're dropping videos, I promise you, every Sunday, 4 p.m. I have all the videos like through February lined up. So Kingdom Wakanda says, please talk about how to integrate. Oh, I already told you. I already answered that question. All right. All right. Looks like we are caught up. Yeah, spoofing a phone number with malicious intent is illegal. I'm just saying you can't stop spoofing because there is legitimate reasons. It's like a denial of service attack. Like stressor services are a legit service. All right, it's 9:23. We got 7 minutes, and I am, open to answering all your questions. All right, guys. Solid weekend. I don't know if anyone here is big into the NFL, but Patriots playoffs, it was great. If you have a team in the playoffs, I wish you the best. Very entertaining. I went to bed at halftime with the Green Bay game because I was tired. And Chicago made the comeback. Reminded me very much of 28-3 Atlanta Falcons. And if you are an Atlanta Falcons fan, I'm sure it's too soon. All right. What are some good networking groups for cyber to join? Hold on. Well, Simply Cyber is a good one. So if you go to simplycyber.io/discord, simplycyber.io/discord in a web browser, Justin, you can join the Simply Cyber community. Very healthy, active Discord community. Anti-Siphon or Black Hills is another great community. Look in your local area. Mad Destroyer, my man, Mad Destroyer. Have you played any of those decks you've been working on? Oh my God, Mad Destroyer. I am addicted to building commander decks now. I've got the bug. I actually got Mishra's Burnished Banner yesterday as a late Christmas gift, and I've been cranking on those. No, I haven't had a chance to play any of them. Although I've play tested my decks, and I feel very good about them. I will tell you, this is for a small subset of the community. This Friday, I'm going to, I think, Grand Line in Monk's Corner and competing in a Lorwyn Eclipsed tournament. I'm very excited about that. Great to see you, Mad Destroyer. Citadel starts back up this week, Mad Destroyer, so I'll be downtown. Maybe we can get together after class one day and do some coffee and magic. If someone wanted to get into security research, where would they start? Good question. You could start anywhere. I mean, I would, let's see, where would you start? Well, see, for security research, you have to you could do research on applications, right? Like reverse engineer and binary analysis, software exploitation. That you could get really into that. You could also get into like at the network layer, some of these IP cameras, right? Like people are complaining that I think it's TP-Link is China's selling them super cheap because they're doing all sorts of nonsense with them, or TikTok, right? Oh, the TikTok app is stealing whatever. You could set those up and look at the network layer and analyze the data going into the packets. You could reverse engineer binaries. You could also do web application bug bounty type stuff if you want to call that security research. I mean, as far as getting started, I mean, honestly, I would just download an Android APK and reverse it, or download a firmware, like some type of IoT device's firmware. Use Binwalk, which is a great tool to explode the file system of the IoT device and then go look at it. Do some research like that. So if anyone's got some other thoughts on it, I mean, that's how I would do it. I will say that security research is not necessarily step one. You should understand how networks work. You should understand a little bit about software. Honestly, if you really want to get good at security research, you may want to learn assembly, which is, that's not trivial. And assembly should not be your first programming language either. You should definitely have an understanding of how programming works, pick up Python or something, and then you can look at assembly. All right. You keep asking this question, Kingdom Wakanda. I answered this question already. So if you go back, I bring the questions up so you can, if you're watching on replay, you can skim to wherever I bring something up and see the question. Oh, here. Yeah. Kyle actually also sharing on the security research. Learn assembly, C++. C++ is what he meant to write. Java, network protocols. I wouldn't learn Java. But Kyle says security research is going to be his pre-retirement gig, travel around and speak. That's a great idea. That's a good idea. That's a fun one, real Kyle. Yeah. I had a tough time with assembly. If you want to learn assembly, let me show you this. Hold on one second. I've got a great resource for helping you learn assembly. Get to see my, don't look at my YouTube back. Don't look at my YouTube history. That's how confident I am. Guys, seriously, your Google history, your YouTube history. Look at all these things. It's almost all magic stuff. Okay. Cyber Yeti. My good friend, Dr. Josh Stroshine. So Josh and I went through our PhD together at Dakota State. He's such a nice guy. I'm a huge Josh Stroshine fan, okay? Now, if you go to his YouTube and go to his playlist, he's got this one right here. Guess what? Assembly hasn't changed much in the last decade, okay? Assembly's assembly. If you would like to take an entire course from 0 to hero on learning assembly, you can do it for $0 right here. Give that a shot. You will not be disappointed. So if you take the money away, then it becomes, do you have the actual commitment? Oh my God, Jerry, you are such a Magic nerd. I am. I love it. Dude, you know why I love Magic the Gathering? I love Magic the Gathering because I love analysis. Okay? And with Magic the Gathering, there's like 30,000 cards. And if, just as a quick primer, when you play Magic, you put together a deck comprised of either 60 or 100 of these 30,000 cards. And if you just grabbed 100 random cards, it would not make any sense. You have to pick cards that complement each other and drive towards some type of cohesive goal. And that is where you begin to analyze. And with 30,000 cards, there is no shortage of analysis. Oh my God, it's so fun. Oh, it's definitely nerdy. It's not even that it's like Dungeons and Dragons and orcs and goblins. Like, that doesn't even matter. It's the interactions of the cards with each other. Sean Burns had a Simic deck, blue-green. All right. All right, we are at 9:32. Oh, yeah. Luke Canfield, Demir, Commander deck. Hell yeah. I will tell you, I will be traveling. I'm going to get going here, but just for everybody's information, I will be traveling with Magic decks. So if you see me at Zero Trust World, Black Hat, DEF CON, Wild West Hackin' Fest, Simply CyberCon, this year, 2026, those are the conferences I'm definitely going to, possibly RSA. I'll have a Commander deck on me. Believe that. And Mad Destroyer, we got to get together, bro. All right, guys. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Thank you all so very much. I'm going to go hug my dog and kiss my wife. Guys, be well. Until next time, stay secure. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time.